Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the glorious Republic of Swordland. Maybe not so glorious as it could be. Um, we are in a pickle. I was planning on having this campaign or this run finished by the time the DLC came out, which was today. So let's see if we can move things along so we can actually do uh, the new content that just dropped and move on to the new Rizia series. Okay, got the President Walker visit. Door of the car opened and flashes went off. White Walker, president of Acacia, head of the ATO, came out of the car smiling and waving at the enormous crowd that gathered. It was not every day an Arcasian president came to visit Sorland after all. President Walker stepped on the carpet and started to make his way towards us. And with Monica, I started walking over to meet him midway. Finally, I was in reaching distance to one of the most powerful men in the world. He looked at Monica first, bowed, and kissed her hand for a second longer than I liked. Mr. Rain, if you told me I would get to meet with your lovely wife, I would have come sooner. I'm charmed, Mr. Rain. Oh my, thank you, Mr. Walker. It's a pleasure to meet with you. No, the pleasure is all mine, Miss Ray. Also, it's Mrs., not Miss. Get your fucking hands off my wife. I hope your wife and the family as well. They are very well, Miss Rain. Thank you. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it here today. And who do we have here? Mr. President, it's so good to finally meet with you. We shook hands. Welcome to Swordland. Thank you. He turned and looked around. I was almost going to think that you weren't expecting me. I'm a simple man, not really a fan of extravagance. Me, Mr. President, I am the exact opposite. He laughed. We, we started walking toward the reception hall of the palace. Our path was cleared of people at once. He was simply looking around at the extraordinary interior design of the Maroon Palace. Statues, paintings, and various ornaments filled both sides of the corridor. We passed the corridor and entered the reception hall. The crowd inside was composed of various politicians and state figures. Upon entry, they started clapping. Dry martinis were handed to both of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you President Walker. People started clapping. Thank you, President Rain. It is really good to be here. And thank you everyone for the warm welcome. With another thunderous round of applause, the jazz band started playing. President Walker and I separated and started mingling with the crowd. The reception was in full swing. After some time chatting with the attendees, President Walker approached us. He bowed before my wife. Miss Rain, can I call you Monica? She looked over at me before smiling at him. Yes, of course, if I can call you Dwight. He took her hand and they started dancing. I turned around to talk to the waiter. I was into my third martini. Come, hey Anton, pace yourself there. When I heard a whistle, I turned around and saw Monica dancing very closely with President Walker. All eyes in the room were on them. President Walker grabbed Monica's waist. Yes, let's cut in. I moved in and caught an opportunity to take Monica's hand. We started dancing. We hadn't danced since our wedding. I was struggling to remember the right steps. President Walker was watching us with his arms crossed and a smile on his face. It's right, right, left, right. As Monica whispered the steps in my ears, I followed along, at first hesitantly, then smoother and more confident. It was starting to come back to me. The band played on. For a moment it felt like it was only the two of us in the room. We moved together as one, seamlessly gliding across the dance floor. At some point a spotlight began shining on us. As the song came to an end, I spun Monica around and dramatically dipped her on the last beat. Applauses and whistles echoed around us. We went back to the bar. I can't believe we pulled that off. At your service, Mr. President. President Walker approached, clapping and whistling himself. Bravo, bravo, well done. I never took you for a dancer, Mr. Rain. That goes both ways, Mr. Walker. I do practice in my free time, but I could never hope to be as good as you. The waiter came by and we swapped our empty glasses with filled ones. Let's talk about some business, shall we? The president and I swapped our drinks for elderly maroon 30-year-olds. I knew a special spot with our drinks at hand. We went down to the stairs to the basement. Gradually, the music and the sound of the party started to fade away. We arrived at a cozy little corner office with not much inside other than the table and comfortable chairs. He took a seat and I followed suit. He pulled out 2 cigars. Sure, take one of the cigars. He pulled out a Ripple lighter and lit my cigar before lighting his own. I heard you got into a scandal, something about a secretary. Truly unfortunate chain of events. Indeed. He grinned. Relax, it's just a scandal, I am no reporter. I just made it out alive of a bad one myself. It was a rough one too. Got used to it. Couple of people in prison, couple of people silenced, you know the drill. Ah, of course. Not my style of governing, Mr. Walker. Cheers to your survival then, Mr. Rain. We clinked our glasses and took a sip. It's a really good one, very smoky, I like it. Never had an Erlori maroon before? He took a puff from his cigar, filling the small room with smoke. Definitely miles better than Valkslandian whiskey. But I like Lesbian whiskey more, it pairs better with their cigars. You see, Mr. Rain, whiskeys are a little bit like countries. Some are stronger, some are weaker, some are older, some are younger. Many are complex, but sometimes simple is the best. I personally like stronger whiskies in general, that's why I like this one. Yes, it's definitely promising. But whatever you drink, in the end, it all boils down to your own taste, and I assure you, Mr. Rain, my sense of taste is very refined. What type of whiskey do you like? I like complex flavors. As good as they are, they can get tiring. He tugged at his tie to loosen it a little. You know why I'm here. I want to make you an offer. I'm listening. Good. Listen closely. Times are changing, and so is the balance of the world. Soon, instead of a fractured world, we will see a more united world. There is us, ATO, against them. I want you by our side, the winning side. But understand that I am saying this despite your previous actions. And that has a price, so here is my offer. ATO will generously welcome you as a member state. You will have all privileges and responsibilities that come with it. I want to underline responsibilities. In return, ATO will attach as a parallel military structure next to the Swordfish military. That includes all branches, Air, Navy, Army. We will provide our very own generals to work alongside the Swordfish Command. Please try to understand me, Mr. Rain. Under normal circumstances, this is not required of ATO members, but this is the price I am putting on the survival of your country. Fuck right off. If you ask me, it is a general price in return for all the privilege you will receive. So you basically want to make me a puppet. Before you answer, let me assure you, if you reject my kind offer, you won't like the results. It appears that I thought wrongly about you. I decline, Mr. Walker. And that's too bad. You have doomed your country, Mr. Rain. May God help you and your country. He grabbed his glass and downed the remaining whiskey. This tastes like piss. I'm going upstairs to join the party to wash the bad taste left in my mouth. I will leave with first light. What a fucking prick. Goodbye, Mr. Rain. Well, if Rumburg invades, we're fucked. Call with Evelyn. Midnight, I was in the living room watching the tail end of a news report when I heard the phone ring. I sighed and walked over to the phone, wondered who could be calling this late. I picked it up. Hello? Who is this? I heard a soft voice from the other end. Hello, Anton? This is Evelyn. Sorry for calling so late. Something wrong? Yes. No, I don't know, actually. Alright, let's talk. Thing is, I was supposed to meet with Peter today and hand him the signed divorce papers, but he didn't come to our designated meeting point. I figured he might have been too drunk to remember, so I went to the apartment he's been renting, but he wasn't there either. I asked around the landlord, the neighbors, his friends. No one knows where he is. Trust me, Anton, I couldn't be more excited to be rid of the man, but I can't close off this chapter of my life without his cooperation. I'm sure he'll turn up. I don't know, Anton. He was in a bad shape after your press conference. Can you get your police contacts to look into this? Just be on the safe side. Alright, if it will give you peace of mind, I will. Thanks, Anton. That'll be great. Yeah, let's come in. I mean, if we didn't know, it's because we didn't want to know. So yeah, I knew about the affairs. I'm sorry I never came to you about it. Boys will be boys, is that what they say? Her voice sounded tired. Good night. Goodbye. The line dropped. As I put down the phone, Monica sleepily approached and with a glass of water in her hands. Who's that? Is everything alright? It was Evelyn. She said Peter went missing. Missing? Drowning his sorrows, I wager. I'm surprised she still cares about him. She was a good influence on him. For a while. She made her way upstairs. Sure, call Carl to ask him about Peter. Picked up the phone and dialed Carl's number. The phone rang only for a few seconds. Yes, Mr. President. I'm sorry for calling this late. Not a problem, sir. I only sleep for three 15-minute intervals per night. That cannot be fucking healthy. What can I do? I need you to find someone. As you wish. I heard the faint rustling of a notepad being opened. Who do you want found, sir? Peter Vector, and the ex-vice president. As you command, I will report my findings shortly. Thank you for your help, as always. Have a good night. Hanging up, I put away the phone and went down to the bedroom to get some sleep. As I was eating breakfast the next morning, the phone rang. I picked up. It was Carl. Good morning, Mr. President. Morning, Carl. This isn't easy for me to say. I have some unfortunate news regarding Mr. Vector. His wedding ring, a half-empty bottle of pills, and a handwritten note were found on a bridge overlooking the Unger River. We surmise that he took his own life. Ah, fuck. What did the note say? He wished it to be read by Evelyn alone, sir. Would you like to break the news to Mrs. Vector, or should I? It should come from me. I'll tell Evelyn. Thanks again for your help. Of course, sir. Carl hung up. With a heavy heart, I started thinking about what I would say to Evelyn. It's not great. Peter Vector nowhere to be found. Well, we know where. We know he's definitely not alive. I mean, he resigned in disgrace. We're not gonna give him a state funeral. The convoy pulled up to the gates of the public cemetery in Ellery. Peter's hometown. Monica and Tina were beside me in the car. The news of Peter's death had hit Frank especially hard. Rather than attend the funeral, he had taken a few days off from school to have time to himself. Monica's looked numb and... Wait, what? Monica looked numb and empty. Dina appeared to be deep in thought. But how did Uncle Peter die? Why won't anyone tell me? Monica looked like she was about to cry. He... It doesn't matter, sweetheart. She turned her head to look out the window, hiding her tears. Sure, let's hug Monica. Dina is confused. Monica is in pain. She hugged me back tightly. Papa, tell me the truth. She'll find out soon. We can't lie to her. Let's tell the kid her the truth. I mean, it's probably not the best way to phrase it, but you shouldn't lie to kids. He killed himself, Diana. But why? Anton, she's still too young. It's better to remember Uncle Peter by the way he lived, not by the way he died. I can't sugarcoat reality for her forever, Monica. The driver window rolled down. We have arrived, Mr. President. My deepest condolences. I know you and Mr. Vector were very close. Thank you, Serge. Serge went outside and opened our door. As soon as we stepped out, camera flashes went off. Evelyn Vectorn was waiting for us. Upon seeing her, Monica ran up to her and they hugged. Evelyn, I'm so sorry. How are you holding up? So. It's hard to play the bereaved widow knowing the kind of man he really was. But still, we were married almost 20 years, Monica. And the way he died, it's just too sudden. They hugged once again. Evelyn wiped her tears and patted Dina on the head before turning to me. My condolences. Thank you, Anton. I know there's nothing either of us could have done, but I still can't help feeling responsible to this. I know what you mean. Evelyn swallowed hard, her eyes filled with resolve. Alright, let's go. The four of us, Evelyn, Monica, Dina, and I, took our places in front of the Vectorn family plot. The crowd was sparse. Peter hadn't had many friends left by the end. His father and brothers lifted the coffin on their shoulders and brought it to the grave. The priest completed his ceremony. It was time for me to make a speech. They would mourn Peter Vectorn, or Vice President of Sutherland, and my brother. Our bond was not a bond of blood, something stronger. It was a bond of friendship and camaraderie. They drank together, cried together, laughed together, fought together. We must all remember him, not at his worst, but for the good deeds he has done. The past is past. We must always look to the future. That's what he would have wanted. Farewell, brother. You will be missed. Amid the applauses, I went back to join Monica and Dina. As I walked past Evelyn, she mouthed the words, "Thank you." The priest's voice cut through the silence. Everyone joined in the prayer he was chanting. Looking at the coffin, I shuddered. The coffin started to be lowered into the grave. I had known Peter for almost 30 years. The time we spent together flashed back before my eyes, the good memories and the bad ones. All of it. Didn't matter anymore, he was gone. I felt a tug on my left arm. Are you crying? Surprised, I checked my face. My eyes were wet. Again, don't lie to kids. Yes. Yeah, it's a good lesson to teach your kids that it's okay to cry sometimes. She hugged my leg. Come on, Dina, let's go. The coffin was fully lowered and the tombstone placed. The crowd began dispersing. Sure, leave a bottle of whiskey on the grave. For old time's sake. Left a bottle on the grave. Ellery, 30-year-old, his favorite. I started there by myself for another half hour. The sun finally set after painting the sky blood red. Well, That happened. Okay. Had been a while since Spider disappeared from our lives. I still found myself thinking of jokes he'd find funny, or wanting to tell him what had happened at my last meeting, but the grief was beginning to fade. Monica visited Evelyn often at first, helping her process her mixed emotions. Eventually, Evelyn sold Peter's villa in that word, and used the proceeds to travel the world, something she'd always wanted to do when she and Peter were together. Well, can't say that's tactful, but then again, she doesn't owe him shit. For myself and Monica, though, life in the capital had to go on, and it did. After weeks of late nights, Monica, Chiara, and the Women's Rights Commission had succeeded in getting their bill through the Assembly. The result wasn't as comprehensive as they'd hoped for, but it was a good start. I was looking forward to celebrating it with my wife. But it had been hours since I'd gotten home, and she still wasn't here. I was dozing on the couch after yet another frozen TV dinner when I heard the key turn on the lock. Monica stumbled into the hall. Honey, I'm home. Let's kiss her. Her breath smelled like gin. We're just having a few drinks with Carol. I'm actually amazed any version of our build passed, given how stacked the assembly was against us. But of course she wants to keep pushing for more. She hiccuped. You could have invited me to the celebrations. Oh, you would have found it boring, and somebody had to look after Dina. I'm starting to see what you put through for all those years. Get used to it, baby. I'm not going to stop until we get what we're asking for, true equality for all women in Swordland. Seriously, Anton, this is what I want to do. I've never felt so alive. Sure, let's show her the photo. I opened my briefcase and pulled out the photograph I'd taken from my old office that fateful night with Peter. Oh wow, look at us. I'm still as madly in love with you as I was the day the photo was taken. Monica smiled, took my hand, and wordlessly led me upstairs to the bedroom. Well, Mr. President. Okay. ATO demands transit rights from the Confederacy of Yarktralis. Ignolian signals standing with Swordland. Valkslandian Navy spotted in full force in Helgeland. Huh. Not great. Medium investment synergy observed. Oh, thank fuck. The line is back up. One-on-one interview. Okay, CSP launches Unified Intelligence Agency. More spies, great. Election speech. This should be fun. Sun was starting to peek through the blinds of my the suite in the Grand Cherries Hotel in Enrica. I hadn't slept at all that night. I was too busy thinking about how I could rally my party's conservative base at today's election kickoff. I was just pulling on my clothes when two soft, sharp looks came at the door. Lucian. Good morning, sir. Told you, Lucian, you're vice president now. Stop calling me sir. Force of habit, sir. Anton. Lucian unclasped his briefcase and took out a small disc-shaped device. After scanning the room with it, he gave a satisfied nod. So what are your investigation into the oligarchs? As you know, Marcel Granti is currently out of the picture. There's been a very interesting update regarding Mr. Tusk. Lucian pulled out a folder and opened it. The anti-corruption police have looked further into Walter Tusk's foreign ties and found some very interesting, very unsettling information. One of his corporation's subsidiaries is directly involved in smuggling and reselling Rumburgian K-74s within Swordland. That traitor. This is treason of the highest level. There's no doubt Tusk must be punished. Would you like to go forth with his arrest and trial, sir? Yes, hope he suffers in jail. Lucian nodded smoothly. As you wish, I'll make the necessary calls immediately. Now that's settled, I'll let you prepare for your rally. I almost forgot the Archpriest of there couldn't be present today, but wanted to relay a message of support to you and your family. I'm sure he did. What do you say? I blessed the rains down in Anrica. I remember this one. It's funny. Uh, Lucian left the room. I finished putting my tie and reread my notes for the morning speech. A few hours later, I was waiting in the wings of the North Sword auditorium in Anrica. In the audience were several thousand of my conservative supporters. Behind the podium hung a Swordfish flag and a giant banner that read, "For your United Swordland." Anarcha Mayor Curtin Leste gave a short introductory speech. I was hard to forget how the Banfi event went down. It was hard. Everyone cheered as I walked on stage. Though Mayor Curtin Leste was now part of the opposition as a member of the NFP, it seemed most of Anarcha was still on my side. Lucian gave a short speech introducing me, then it was my turn. I stepped behind the podium and took a deep breath. Brothers and sisters of the USB. The past 3.5 years have been the hardest of my life. Yet Sorlin has prevailed. Under my administration, we are stronger than ever. Are we, though? Sure. Under my administration, we are stronger than ever. Together we will get the economic crisis under control. Under my presidency, Swordfish citizens have united like never before. I will continue to fight for the constitutional reform Swordland deserves. And I will continue to root out corruption and wrongdoing even within the institutions we hold dear. Thunderous applause erupted. I am the Senate, no. Swordland has changed, but the USP remains as strong as ever. There has been tremendous progress made in this term, and more is to come. The experience and expertise of Vice President Galad will help guide us into a brilliant future. Aurora shook the hall. We'll form a broad coalition of supporters to make sure morning finally comes. I'm Organa Westcore. The audience enthusiastically finished the saying as streamers shot out of cannons behind me. My re-election campaign had officially begun. I stepped down from the podium. Well. Shit, I got it, I got some interesting, I just got some interesting achievements. Make the US, another Alfonso, make the USB obstruct you and trigger the depression. And Master of Crisis, trigger 4 late game crisis events. Oh, lovely. CSP announces University Minority Rights Convention. First long-range bombers deployed at the deployment at a defining moment. Okay, and we will have a briefing on the current economic situation on the next episode. Thank you all very much for watching. As always, I have been Pope. Please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.